Hello, parents. I'm sure all of you want your child to have an excellent memory. Well, let me tell you that memory is something like muscles, which can be trained to become stronger. So, in this video, I'll tell you about some techniques which will help you make your child's memory better. I've divided this talk into three parts. In the first part, I'll talk about the preparations that must be made before the child settles down to study. In the second part, I'll be talking about the methods of studying, which is a very, very important part. And the third part will be dealing with active memory techniques, which are not actually studies, but other techniques which help a child to improve his overall brain performance. So let's jump straight into it and first of all start talking about the preparation that we must make before the child sits down to study. The first thing that I would like to tell you about is that the child must have had a good sleep. A good sleep for at least 8 to 9 hours is essential for the child's brain to function optimally. The child must maintain the same sleeping and waking times on all days of the week, irrespective of whether it is a holiday or the child is having examinations. He should have the regular sleeping time. Let's say he sleeps at 10 o'clock and wakes up at 6. That should be the regular sleeping and waking time. I've seen a lot of children who study very hard during the examinations. They stay up very late, well past midnight. Well, let me tell you one thing, that there is a 40% reduction in memory if a child stays awake till very late in the night. This leads to poor performance. You can read, but you will not remember anything. There's no point. So it's a futile exercise, absolutely fruitless. Another thing that I like to tell you is that the child must not have any screen time at least 30 minutes before he goes off to sleep. And anyway, overall, the screen time should be less than 1 hour per day. Now, why is sleep so important? Sleep is a wonderful mechanism by which the brain rejuvenates itself. When we go off to sleep, it is not that the brain is not functioning at all. No, the brain is still working. Apart from rejuvenating itself, it is doing a lot of other activities. There is an automatic problem solving activity that is happening in the brain, and plus the memory consolidation also happens. All these things happen during sleep, and the peak time of these activities is around 2 a.m. So if a child studies till, let's say, midnight or past midnight during the exams, well, he is depriving himself of the bounties of nature that are already existing. So what's going to happen is that he's going to perform poorly. And you must have realized now that burning the midnight oil is a futile exercise. Many times you also must have noticed that when you sleep over a problem, when you wake up in the morning, the problem is already solved. You have the solution right there. Who did it? The brain did it on its own. So this automatic problem solving and memory consolidation that already is wired in our system must be utilized by our studying pattern. Sleep during night, study during day. The child must eat a good balanced diet. Apart from this, if the child is hungry, he'll not be able to concentrate. And if he's overfull, he'll feel too sleepy again. He'll not be able to concentrate. Now, the diet should be rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 fatty acids are certain kinds of fats, which are very good for the development of the brain and for the functioning of the brain. So for vegetarians, these fats can be obtained from nuts like walnuts and almonds and seeds like flax seeds. And there are certain oils which have a lot of omega-3, like canola oil. Non-vegetarians can get all these omega-3 fatty acids from either fish oil, or they can consume oily fish, sea fish like tuna, sardines, mackerel, and salmon. Apart from this, the child should also eat a lot of fruits and leafy vegetables to get a comprehensive diet, a diet that is replete with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. See, a good diet leads to a good body, leads to a good brain. Now, all study is not the best way to excel in examinations or in life. Play and physical activity have an equal role to play. Physical activity is extremely good for the brain function because when a child runs around or plays, the blood circulation of the brain improves, and it has been seen that this increases the size of the memory center of our brain, which is called hippocampus. An advice for the parents: you should never scold or hit your child. If you are scolding or hitting your child and making him study by force, well, you can take a horse to water but can't force him to drink. And remember that fear and anger are enemies number one of memory. If for some reason the child is annoyed, well, you can simply ask him to take a time out, go out for 10 minutes and then relax and come back. He would have settled. Suppose he can't go out for some reason, it's raining or snowing or whatever, you can just ask him to take 10 deep breaths, go in a corner of a room, just relax. And these 10 deep breaths will calm him down. Please remember that just like exercise is very good for the size of the hippocampus or our memory center, stress is equally bad for it. Stress makes the size of our memory center smaller. So please don't give any stress to your child. Another aspect of studying that we must make a note of is that there should be no distractions when the child is studying. There should be no noise, no movements of humans or any pets in the room where he is studying, no smells of anything nice that is being cooked in the kitchen. Like, let's say the mom is baking a nice allspice cake and its smell is wafting in the air and entering the child's nostril. You can rest assured the child will not be able to concentrate. Now I'll talk about the most important aspect of the talk, that is the technique of studying. This is a structured way in which a child should study, and this will help him a long, long way. First of all, there are some certain children who think that they should only read the chapters that are important and ignore the rest. Well, there is nothing unimportant. Everything that is mentioned in your curriculum has to be read. The child should be told to make a mental image of whatever he is reading. See, when he makes a mental image of whatever he is reading and associates this image with the text that he is reading, this combination works wonders for memory. This technique is called visual imagery. It has been found that if a child reads aloud while studying, this also improves the memory. After the child has studied for about 15 to 20 minutes, he should just settle down, stop studying, and revise whatever he has read. And after this revision only, he should proceed further. Then again, he should study for another 15 to 20 minutes and then revise whatever he's read just now. Now that 30 to 40 minutes have elapsed, he should take a break. He must take a break for about 10 minutes, during which he should go out, play, jump around, whatever, but he should not study during that time. See, this is because no child can concentrate for more than 30 to 40 minutes in one stretch. This is the reason for which we don't have periods in a school longer than this duration. Now, when the child comes back from his 10-minute break, he should come back and choose a different subject. He should not go back to the same subject just because he left it midway. No, if it has been left midway, just let it be there. Don't bother about that. You don't have to go back to the same topic. Leave it where it is and start studying something else. Even the next subject that the child is studying, after the completion of 40 minutes, even if the chapter doesn't get completed, the child should leave it as it is and then come back to it at a later stage. Now, why am I saying this? There is something called the Zeigarnik effect. This effect was discovered by a psychologist called Zeigarnik. She found that if a task is left unfinished it stays in the memory for a longer period than a task that is completed. So there's no need to complete the chapter. Relax. If it is unfinished, doesn't matter. Probably this unfinished chapter will get into the memory much better than a completed chapter. Now, the revision, once you've done the primary revision, the second revision should not happen earlier than 4 hours. After this, the revision interval should be increased to 1 day, 3 days, 7 days, 2 weeks, and so on. And by the time it is examination time, that everything would have got embedded in the child's memory so well that he'll just have to just skim the pages and everything will be there already. So everything goes and lodges itself in the long-term memory of the child by this technique. Another technique that helps long-term memory is making an active recall of whatever you've read. Now, this active recall is a process in which the child does not look at the book or his notes. He just tries to recollect whatever he has studied. And this again strengthens the memory. The child must make it a habit to answer all questions that are mentioned at the end of a chapter. This leads to a self-assessment and a revision of the chapter. He should also be encouraged to be very inquisitive and find out, ask why and how everything that he has studied. This curiosity again leads to an enhanced memory. Now I'll talk about some active memory techniques. These are techniques that improve the overall functioning of the brain. The child should be given games like puzzles, crossword puzzles, jigsaw puzzles, card games, chess, etc. All games that require brain activity. As a routine, you should play these games. These games, they enhance the overall performance of the brain. He should be asked to teach whatever he has studied to a family member or a friend. It doesn't matter whether the family member or the friend understands what he's teaching. It doesn't matter. Teaching is one of the best methods of memorizing whatever you know. Then there are two hacks which can be utilized in memorizing things in a serial order. One is mnemonics. Mnemonics are a pattern of associations which help a person to remember things in a serial order. For example, if one was to remember how the planets are aligned in the solar system from sun outwards, there exists a simple mnemonic. That is, my very excellent mom just served us Neapolitan pizza. From my, we pick up M and it becomes Mercury. From very, we pick up V and it becomes Venus. From excellent, we pick up the first letter E and it becomes Earth. From Mercury, M becomes Mars. From mom becomes Mars, M becomes Mars. And from just, J becomes Jupiter. From served, S becomes Saturn. And from us, U becomes Uranus. From Neapolitan, N becomes Neptune. And from pizza, P becomes Pluto. So now, what was a very daunting task of remembering all these planets in a serial order, the way they exist in our solar system, becomes very easy. Now we can easily rattle them out. They are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Very simple. Acronyms are words in which each letter stands for a particular word. A popular example which we have all used during our younger days is VIBGYOR, which stands for the colors in which the colors of a rainbow as they are arranged in it. V stands for violet, I for indigo, B for blue, G for green, Y for yellow, O for orange, and R for red. That's the way the colors are arranged in a rainbow. So it's very simple to remember. Now, the weirder the acronyms or the mnemonics, the more likely are they to be remembered. So let the child create his own mnemonics and acronyms and let them be as weird as possible. The possibility of his remembering them will be higher than if he chooses a commonly used word. The child should also be encouraged to learn new skills, like, let's say, a new language or music. One thing that we've noticed is that music is an integral part of the training of all small school children in all developed countries. This leads to a better brain development. So the child should, I mean, it's fun also, music is fun, plus it enhances the brain activity. Now, one advice for the parents: please praise the child every time he does something right, even if it's something very small. Just keep praising him. Keep praising him all day long. Let's say, you can tell him, oh, you combed your hair very well. Okay, you buttoned up your shirt very well. Okay, your shoes are very neat. You've eaten your dinner in time. You've studied very well today. It can be anything minor, anything good that he has done. We must praise the child. See, praise is very addictive, and praise increases the self-esteem of the child, and he feels that he is wanted. So he tries to perform better. In spite of whatever you might do, unfortunately, there'll be some children who will still not improve. Now, these children will require evaluation by a psychologist. They could be having a low IQ, a learning disability, or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. They might need the help of a special educator. I hope you will find the tips that I've told you helpful and you will utilize them in improving the memory of your child. Thank you.